Yo, what is up guys, Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So this video is in relation to the Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk undercard. Of course, Usyk versus Fury gets all of the plaudits. Undisputed at heavyweight, we've been waiting for a long time for that to happen. Finally it is, only a month away or so. But the undercard has been announced. The undercard, a couple of interesting bits, but the fight in which I'm really looking forward to is Opetaia versus Mairis Briedis in a rematch. Of course, Opetaia won the IBF Cruiserweight title back in 2022 against Briedis in a really good fight, by the way. A close fight, but a fight in which I felt Opetaia clearly won. But it was a hell of a fight. Opetaia showed great skills in the first half of that fight. He was completely outboxing Briedis for the first 6 or 7 rounds. But after that, Briedis started to come back into the fight. He was able to get closer to Opetaia. He started to land his uppercut. He broke the jaw of Opetaia quite badly. And he really had a lot of success in the second half of that fight. I just felt he left it a bit too late. I felt Opetaia won 7 rounds to 5, but kind of a clear 7-5. I don't think there was any way Briedis won that fight. But regardless, it deserved a rematch in my opinion. And like I said, Opetaia showed me in that fight that he's a real serious fighter. Not only does he have skills, he showed that in that bout against a really good fighter in Briedis, but more importantly, he passed the gut check. He was caught late on in that fight by a series of hard uppercuts. Like I said, had his jaw broken, but he passed the gut check and the chin check. He showed it all in that fight. Since then, he had a long layoff. Now he's come back, had a couple of fights against Jordan Thompson, Elizoro in quick succession. Not great fighters, it has to be said, but he's got back active again. And now he needs to fight a top cruiserweight. Here we are, a rematch against Mairis Briedis. And the vacant IBF title will be on the line. Of course, Opetaia got stripped of that title quite recently. He's now fighting for it again. So it makes you wonder, what was the point in stripping this guy? Opetaia seems like the type of guy to fight anybody. He wasn't ducking Briedis. It seemed he always intended to take that rematch. But anyway, here we are. We have it right now, and I'm glad we have it. Like I said, first fight was great. In fact, it was one of my favourite fights of 2022. It was a really good fight. And like I said, a fight that deserved a rematch, in my opinion. We get a lot of pointless rematches in boxing, but this isn't one of them. I'm looking forward to it. Going into it, I would make Opetaia a favourite. He's been more active in recent times. Briedis hasn't fought since that first fight back in 2022. So he's coming off a long layoff. He's getting towards the end of his career now. Briedis at this point in time is 39 years old. So, like I said, he's at the end of his career. But he does have bags full of experience. Hits very hard. Gave Opetaia all he could handle last time out. So yeah, I mean, why not have it again? Why not see it again? I like this fight. I think it's a good fight. And even a 39-year-old Briedis, I would pick him to beat many of the other cruiserweights right now. You look at a guy like Chris Smith, I think Briedis would go through him like a doorway, to be honest. The WBA champion, Gulamarian, I think that would be a very competitive fight. And obviously you have Noel Givor, who is the WBC champion. They fought once before. I actually felt Givor beat Briedis, but they gave Briedis the decision. But regardless, I think Briedis, even right now, would be competitive against the other cruiserweight champions. It's whether he can still be competitive against Opetaia, who for my money is the best cruiserweight in the world and a very special talent. I try not to, throw superlatives around and praise fighters before they're due. But when it comes to Opetaia, I'm solely speaking on his ability. I rate him very highly. And I believe he will win this rematch, and more than likely do it in slightly better fashion, but I still expect Briedis to have his moments and be a danger in there. People forget how hard Briedis can punch. He can really punch. I mean, he's knocked out guys at heavyweight for, like Manuel Char. He can really crack, and he can disguise those shots very well, particularly that uppercut. So Briedis is still going to be dangerous in there, so it's going to be a good fight to watch. And a very good undercard fight for Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Aside from that, a few other fights have been announced. Interestingly, Kovalev is continuing his comeback. He's fighting at cruiserweight against a Swedish guy called Robin Siwan Safar. Never heard of him before. He's got a high knockout ratio, but never fought anybody I know. So we've got Kovalev coming back. Joe Cordina is defending his IBF super featherweight title against Anthony Kakache, who is an Irish fighter, Northern Irish. He was also the former British super featherweight champion. Also, he won an IBO title, for what that's worth. You know, he's a decent domestic guy, but and he'll give it a go, but I expect Joe Cordina to win that fight comfortably. Having said that, Joe Cordina didn't look great last time out, so we shall see. Aside from those fights, though, we also have the return of Isaac Lowe for anybody who cares. He's fighting an Afghani fighter by the name of Hezbollah Ahmadi, I want to say. You guys tell me. David Nika is on the card. He's a good prospect at cruiserweight coming out of New Zealand. Bakadir Jalalov is also on the card. Good heavyweight prospect out of Uzbekistan. And we also have Moses Atalma, who is a British heavyweight prospect. So yeah, those guys don't have fights yet though, so we shall see. But yeah, Opetaia versus Briedis is the pick of the bunch on the undercard. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The rest I can take or leave. I'm kind of interested to see what Kovalev does. We shall see. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Delboy. Peace.